Hello, it's Kristen and welcome back to my channel. Today we're making the herring and pumpkin pie from the movie Kiki's Delivering Service. I forgot for a second there. Two things. The first is that I wasn't able to find herring at my local grocery store, so I'm going to be using haddock. Then maybe you're wondering, hey, can I make this recipe with any sort of fish? You might be able to. Which brings me to my second point. So I'm essentially making this recipe up. I've watched a lot of videos online and I've seen a lot of recipes as well for fish pies, but everyone kind of makes it differently. So I'm not really sure what the correct way is. I even went on google.se, which is the Swedish version of Google, and Kiki's Delivery Service apparently takes place somewhere in Sweden, and so I figured, hey, if they have a traditional fish pie recipe, I should just use that. But when I actually looked it up, I just found pictures of quiches and frittatas? Potato frittata. Because of that, I'm gonna be making up this recipe based on what I've seen and based on what I think will taste good. So if you want to come on this food adventure with me, then just keep watching. Whether or not it's good, I'm not sure. At the end of the video, you'll find out. Either way, I'm gonna eat it because I spent my hard-earned cash on this, so let's hope it's good. All right, so let's just, you know, let's just get to the cooking.
Alright friends, grab a pumpkin, a cooking pumpkin. I used a Jamaican pumpkin because that's all the grocery store had, and it works great. Then cut it in half beside the stem, and we're going to use the bigger half. If you have trouble cutting it, just pop the whole thing in the microwave for 3 to 4 minutes, but be careful because it'll be really hot. Next, we're going to clean out the center and slice it up. Then put it on a microwavable container of sorts, cover it tightly with plastic wrap, and microwave it for 2 to 3 minutes or until it's mashable. When it's soft enough, scoop out the fleshy bits. Again, please handle with care, it's going to be real hot. Then mash it all up with some butter and pepper. In a lightly oiled frying pan, cook the onions until they become golden brown and caramelized. Make sure to stir constantly so it all cooks evenly. You want to cook this on a low to medium heat so nothing burns. Next, prep your baking dish with some olive oil and add the mashed pumpkin. A last-minute decision on my part was to mix the onions with the pumpkin, and I think this would actually make a really great pierogi filling. And as always, make sure to taste test. Then, in the same pan that you cook the onions, add a little bit more oil and cook the fish. When it's almost cooked, you can add the garlic, salt, pepper, and a knob of butter. Cook until the garlic becomes fragrant and try not to burn it here or else it'll become really bitter. Next, add the milk, cover, and cook on a low-medium heat or a light simmer. On a lightly floured surface, roll out some pre-made pie crust. You can make your own or buy some from the grocery store. Then cut a piece out for the top. And also cut out the decoration pieces. After about 10 minutes of simmering, take the fish out and save the milk for later. Now it's time to make the roux. To a pan on low-medium heat, add butter, flour, and a pinch of salt. Mix it until it thickens and smells like cooked pastry. Strain in the milk from earlier. And mix until it thickens up. You can use a whisk if you want. Make sure to taste test and add salt and pepper as needed. If it's too thick, you can add a bit of milk or heavy cream until it reaches the desired consistency. Flake the fish and add it to the roux and any sort of vegetable you please. I used frozen peas and carrots. Mix it all together. Then spread it across the top of the pumpkin onion mixture. Top with the pre-cut pie crust. Then brush it liberally with egg wash. And you probably could have done this before you put the pastry on top of the pie, but poke some holes in it. And then decorate. Make sure you put egg wash between each layer of pastry to help it stick together. Then bake as directed on the box of your pie crust, and that's it!
So here it is, the final product, ready for a taste test. I let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes, but it's still steaming hot. It smells really good, and I'm really excited to try it. So, get a bite with a little bit of everything on it. I feel like I'm gonna burn my mouth. Smells nice, smells really oniony though. Wow. It's really nice because I didn't really season the pumpkin much. I just put some butter and pepper in it, and then I put the onions, the caramelized onions in it. If I were to make this recipe again, I'd probably cut back on the caramelized onion, maybe like half a cup to 3/4 of a cup instead of an entire cup. The white sauce with the fish and peas and carrots make it actually taste a lot like a chicken pot pie. You can kind of taste the fish. It kind of just tastes like a fish casserole that has squash on the bottom, which pretty much is like a casserole, because, you know, casseroles are the best when you want to eat like 5 things at once. I think the proportions are really good too. The white sauce isn't too salty. It's nice and creamy and buttery as well. It's like a fish pot pie with squash on the bottom. And there you have it, the herring, haddock, and pumpkin pie from the movie Kiki's Delivering Service. I hope that you guys are enjoying this series so far. If you haven't already, check out A through G. They'll be posted somewhere around here, or I'll be covering my face with links because that's just what people do on the YouTube. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Whew, sweaty.